Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This video will be a continuation of a video where we were showing how to use the purchase orders and cost management window to see purchase orders that you've issued versus costs, and maybe to make some corrections or create some things or edit some of your bills that you've posted, etc. Let me go ahead and get my demo job selected here and open the POs and cost management just for that job, like we had before. And in one of the videos we showed how we created a posted bill that's unpaid right now. You can see it's over here unpaid, but it's been created, but the PO is done because we posted a bill. We did that for the same amount. Then we demonstrated how if you had a bill for more than the purchase order, how it's probably a good idea to post, because the bookkeeper can tell that right away with overage alerts or looking at the amount of PO when creating a bill from a PO and see that it's over. And I suggested that the bookkeeper make 2 lines, one with some notes written and some information about it and what was happening. You see that both of those are unpaid, and I was talking about splitting it into 2 lines so that you could create a variance purchase order with a reason for the variance, which is handy for various reports that you can produce of variances. Now let's take this next little one. I'm just kind of going down the list because this is our demo job and we don't have costs for much of these. But this is for specs, plats, blueprints, and let's say we got a little bill, some bill in for it. We're just going to be applying them to this one purchase order. In this case, I showed you how to create bills from purchase orders, but I'm going to go straight to do a bill for dynamic for this 1115. And play like I got a bill. I'm not aware that there's a purchase order, and I overlook actually attaching it to a purchase order. Let's do the thing to post bills. Again, this is not totally about posting bills. It's about producing purchase orders and comparing them to the cost that we posted. But let's just select that. Let's play like we just sort of overlooked this in red, that there are POs for this. For some reason we're just blowing right past this because we have a bill. And let's let it do its checking for whether things have expired or not. So let's select our demo job. And let's just let's play like it has some invoice number on our little bill. And it did come into the cost code we wanted to use. And so much filled in because we have things filled in for this vendor. So the GL number dropped in, the cost code dropped in, etc. Let's just play like this bill is for $55 for whatever it is. And we still ignored attaching a PO to it. If you come in to post a bill and you get an alert that there's a PO, what you actually should do is drop down and look and see what purchase orders there are for this. This is for our job 3811. This one's for another job 3822, and we would click on this and we could still just apply a lesser amount. It will supply the 150 if I click on it, but I'm going to ignore it because I'm trying to demonstrate something. Like I've just overlooked the fact that there's POs, which is kind of hard to do, but I'm showing how people can enter things fast and overlook something, and what I want to get to is how you get that corrected and get it attached to a PO. So it says that it's posted, and then I come along later and I'm studying on my purchase orders for that job. I want you to see how easy it is when somebody is paying attention to purchase orders, that they can spot, that you didn't attach the purchase order. And they can see, oops, I didn't mean to do the purchase orders list. We need to do the POs and cost management so we can see purchase orders and the costs. That other one is a simple list of POs. But notice how it's easy to spot there's this $55 being over no PO, but you realize looking at it, and for the same job, that you do have a PO out there and that this should have been attached to that PO. So you can spot that on this cost and management system. And you could go ahead and click on the posted costs to drill down to whatever costs make up that $55. There might be more than one in this list. Do the pencil edit icon, and then you can go ahead and get that PO attached to it right here. And so you attach that to it, you save, you close. This will now not close because it didn't have any records, and so the message just stays there because that was looking for costs that have a PO number of none. And so now what we want to do is refresh this when we get back. It did tell us that we would need to do that. It's not refreshing every time, just in case you're just drilling down to look and this and that, and you don't do any changes and you don't want to wait for a refresh. But you can see now how that 55 posted cost is here. It's showing that we still have outstanding of 55. We actually have remaining to pay 150 because this is an unpaid bill that we paid. So that's how that works. Let's play like, for some reason, we realize that all of this should have been a different cost code. Let's go see if there's a cost code right under this. We can play like this should have been some other cost code, both the purchase order and the amount. Let's see what happens if I try to change the cost code on this actual posted cost now that it's attached to a PO. And notice that it's dimmed out, and it says some fields, cost code fields, etc., will be dimmed out, will not allow you to change them because a PO is attached. And that's because the purchase order has a cost code of 1115, and purchase orders and the actual costs attached to them must match the cost code on both of them, or we can't do all of our variance analysis, etc., that you've seen that we do in CHS. But what I can do is click to set this PO to none on this actual cost again, and then change the cost code. Not sure what I'm deciding to change it to here, but we're just temporarily doing this because we're going to, I'll just say architecture and engineering extra. That's what we really wanted it to for whatever reason. Now you can't, as soon as you have a cost code and do a drop down, you won't find a PO number because there's no PO number with 1129. So what you do is save this. We're trying to get everything changed to 1129. We undid having a PO attached to it. It says to refresh this. And now what you're going to see happen is that on down here, under posted costs, which I'm using the wrong scroll bar, is that $55 under 1129. And what you know is that you want that PO to be matching it. So we've unattached costs from the PO. If I tried to do this before I unattached the costs, I wouldn't be able to change the cost code because there's costs attached. But now there are no costs attached. So if I open to the purchase order, I drill down on it, and there's a little pencil icon right here by the cost code. And you can see old cost code, new cost code would be 1129 for this PO. It'll drop in some things that go with that cost code, and we'll let the title go ahead and change. And you say change cost code, and so now that's been changed, and it's refreshing our POs and cost management. So now if we go down to 1129, once again we see the 150 here that's a PO for the cost code 1129, and we see those costs. So now there will be a PO available that will match the costs. We can go edit this cost. CHS really does have to, now you'll see a drop down in here because there is one with that same cost code, and we're attaching it up again. CHS really does have to keep track and make you do this step by step because we really need to make sure cost codes stay accurate across the board. So sometimes you end up, if you get a wrong cost code on something, you end up having to deal with that. But you can see right here, now our $55 is lined up with our $150, and both that purchase order and those posted costs are now under $11.29. I think that that's probably enough to give you a pretty good idea of what you can do with this POs and job cost management window, how you can get a cost code changed even if it's attached to a PO, how you have to kind of get the cost unattached from the PO and then change the PO cost code and then come back, change the, if you would have changed the actual cost one and then get them back lined back up. But this window will certainly help you get that done and can be a big help in spotting costs that you didn't get attached to purchase orders. I will come back and do one more video about this POs and cost management window that I'd like to do, that has to do with using the great big one that has all kinds of search features. Talk about marking POs as done. It's already matching POs to cost, and edit actual. So it'll be a fairly short video that I'll come back and do. And thank you for watching this one.